Have you ever had a politician just lose it and then you still have to sort of take them seriously? So we're gonna react to an MP from Brisbane. What's his name?
Bob Carter.
Okay, and basically he's calling out someone for being racist towards him, and it's just the hypocrisy of it, knowing very well what happens to Indigenous, knowing very well what happens to people who felt some type of way about the 31st of August march, which is happening today, by the way. All right, well, I don't know when you guys see it, all right? So we're gonna break that down. We're gonna give our point of view from our side, all right? It's KBizzel and I'm here with...
Let's talk about it with Ochan.
All right, let's get to it.
Oh, mate, don't say that, because that irritates me, and I punch blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that. My family have been in this country for 140 years, right? So and if you say anything like that, I have, on many occasions, punched blokes in the mouth, right? So I'm restraining myself today. Don't say it. Don't say
that have good values.
No, listen, just look. Don't say that.
I'm sure that
Don't
you said it.
say that,
Sure you said
because
it.
you're a racist. You're a racist. You cannot.
So many things to unpack here, so many things to unpack. It's really funny that he's basically saying, hey, don't say something which deminimizes or takes away from me being a true Australian. The person's just pointing out like your heritage is like Lebanese background as well. You have European descent. Now, if the person's doing it in a way to say you're not a true Australian, well, guess what? Now you know how Indigenous feel. Now you know how the immigrants feel. Because when you ask where we're from, and then we say Australian, and then you go, yeah, but where you really from? In other words, because your skin looks like this, or because you speak a certain way, that's what it feels like. And to my knowledge, he's the one who is pro for the march about mass deportation and protecting Australian jobs and Australian land. And when they say Australian jobs, Australian land, they really mean for white people, okay? So it's ironic that he's getting so riled up and angry that, hey, why are you trying to say I'm not true British Australian? I had to fight for what I have here. But where's that right and respect for Indigenous? Where's that right and respect for immigrants who you guys are marching against, that you want mass deportation? You know what I'm saying? It's just the hypocrisy. And then on top of that, to be a politician and be someone who's in the light and leads the country and just be losing it and saying, I'm going to resort to physical violence, this is white privilege right now. And I know you guys are gonna be like, it's not. It's white privilege because he's allowed to do that and there's no consequences. Do you think I can just go like, hey, don't say that, I'm gonna punch you in the face in front of media and police and nothing will happen? So talk about white privilege and talk about position of power and talk about hypocrisy, all rolled into one. There you go.
It's crazy. Even the way that he's raging.
Bro.
That's like, yeah, that's just a typical privilege kind of rage where you just go, you know what? I'm gonna say what I feel like I'm gonna say, and it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You know? So I'm like, people like this, plus he's actually sponsoring the protests that's going on at the moment as well.
Bruh.
Which I'm like...
You know what's really funny about it as well before we go back? He goes, oh, but I'm restraining myself today. On many occasions I do it. You try to bring it back because that's what Aussie culture is sometimes. It's like, I'll do it, but come on, mate. Like, I don't want to do it. You already said it. We already heard it. Yeah. And you would have gone that further if the other guy wasn't as patient and as lenient. He's trying to be professional because it's at his job. I'm telling you what, he's never going to get that interview again, though.
One of the other things that I was going to say, like, just because he has a Lebanese heritage, that does not mean that he's less of an Australian.
That's what we're saying.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're saying.
He's not less of an Australian. He's Australian just as everybody else. And him getting upset at it, it just shows that, he has a racist perspective.
Exactly. Good point.
On how migrants are.
Because he knows when someone else says that to another immigrant, that's how they look at it. Yeah. So the fact that it's been said to him, that's the standard. You're not a true one. But we don't think of it like that. 100%. We're the ones about multicultural and diversity and fairness and inclusion. You're the one trying to create barriers and say, well, an Australian you have to be here for 150 years. You have to have Scottish, Irish, or British background blood. You know what I mean? You're saying that. You're making it like only exclusive. We're making it inclusive.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a broad thing. We're all different. And that's what Australia is, right?
Yeah.
We're all under the same flag. We all have the same passport. And we all have the same...
values, right?
The same values and the same destination. We're trying to go the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where we live in harmony, in peace. But this guy here doing this thing, creating a lot of division between everybody else, because now, okay, you guys on this side, everybody else on the other side.
Segregation, really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, we already seen this in America, right?
Yeah.
We already seen how segregation happened back in
pretty much
America
everywhere,
a long time ago. It's terrible. So that's the same thing. We don't want that in Australia. We want everybody to just live in harmony. But the way he's reacting, it just shows that he's trying to get people to live in segregation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and make it like it's okay, like there's nothing wrong with it. Like we as immigrants who just see that and be like, yeah, that makes sense. I guess we'll just be kicked out of the nation and go away because it's your thing, sir. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me just wither and just take it because what you say is correct. Do you really want us to be stepped on like doormats?
No.
Bro, let's keep it going.
You're a racist. You're a racist. You cannot say what you've just said without being identified as a racist. Some gentlemen, ladies, this man is a racist. Don't listen to him, please. No, he doesn't if he asks a racist question, which implies racism. I'm not going to answer it, and I don't consider him a proper Australian, a fair-minded Australian. He sees people as foreign because of their heritage. And that is very un-Australian. Because you're a racist, you're a racist. You cannot say what you've just said.
Do you know one thing that doesn't make sense?
What?
You see what he's saying, that is the person is being racist for seeing him with a different heritage when clearly it's what we go through every time.
Yeah, he's a
Which is crazy.
hypocrite. The hypocrisy is amazing, yeah.
It's like every single time they look at us, oh, you know, you're African, you're this. So technically, if somebody says that to me next time, I should use what he said.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to do that. Different rules for different skin colors, though.
Facts.
Because if you were to get that angry, African youth crime, or why they come over here and do that, the same logic is being applied to him. Why are you getting so mad? Why are you getting upset? Because the reason he's getting upset is because in his head, or if there's another context, because we didn't see the whole video, if the person is trying to devalue the fact that he is not an Australian because he hasn't have true blue British blood or something like that, or Indigenous blood, he feels offended by that. Okay. But then why do you support deportation at a massive rate and saying it should be white only? Like, why do you do that? Or why do other people do that if it's not particularly him? Why? The problem is, I've noticed something. Racists only care when it affects them. They have different rules. 100%. So if you do that, they see it as, oh, that's wrong, this is how we are. But then if it's done to them, it's almost like, no, that's unfair because I'm not getting the same leeway and this is a position that I'm putting in and I'm minimized. They never want to see both sides, then make a true judgment of, okay, let's live in harmony, or this is the rule for everyone. Different rules, different skin color. And the worst thing about it is they never acknowledge it or bring it to light. They always try to pretend that it's not there. And every time you try to corner them into something, they just react like this. They react like this because their system is aggression and dominance. Because he could have said, hey, I understand that I have that type of heritage, but I still am an Australian. We would have all understood that. But instead, he wanted to go to violence because how dare someone say, I'm not an Australian. I've been here longer than you. The person asking him the question probably has stronger, quote unquote, Australian heritage than him because they 100%. Might be true blue Australian and he can use that against him. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that.
Because it's crazy. This is what you call gaslighting.
100%.
This is gaslighting.
Yeah,
because like, and you see that all the time though. It's like they go from that super aggression, then all of a sudden they switch into becoming the victim. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, how can he say this to me? I don't identify with that and this and that. It's the same thing when like, when somebody becomes racist, like for example, when somebody is racist towards somebody and there's white people around, all of a sudden, everybody turn a blind eye. Because it doesn't,
know.
You know what I'm saying? It's because it doesn't really, it does not affect them.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's like
It's like not my fight as
Yeah,
well.
I'm
like,
not-
you know,
I'm not part
I
of
want to get
this.
involved. I don't want it to like come on me, so then I'm part of it. They literally pretend like they didn't say it or downplay. Oh, I think they didn't mean it like that. Nah, you're just getting upset. It's always put on the person who's the actual victim, the real victim.
They're making them to be the victor.
You know what I mean? And there's a couple other videos I want us to react to a little bit later, you know what I mean? But there's one of an indigenous Indian person, and then there's a white lady basically who said, go back to your country. And then she keeps on following him saying, hey, you did something wrong. Just make it known that it's not about race. And he's saying she's racist. The fact that a lady who is physically not as strong as him can follow a man who's way bigger and demand that he says something, even though she has done the wrong thing, is showing the privilege that she has on his stolen land. And he called it out, right? Because he couldn't do that to her.
100%.
But she could do that to him, because if he does anything wrong, he's done. Even though he's in the right to defend himself. But we'll talk about that a bit later, but that's my thought process. Go ahead.
Anyways, make sure you all like, share, follow, subscribe.
Look, get in the comments, guys. Ochan and me, we're here for you, and we are advocates of this nation. We're advocates of right or wrong. I'm the people's champion. This guy, he wants to talk about it. So make sure you, like he said, like, share, follow, subscribe, get up in the comments whether you agree or disagree, and let's have the dialogue. Let's keep it fair. It's KBizzel. I'm here with...
Let's talk about it with Ochan.
Let's get it. Don't say that. Don't say that.
He was raging, bro.
Many occasions on that.
I was expecting him to start punching on.
Yeah.